What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a draft update 2.0. Small things have changed, and I think that that's going to be the fun part about this video is, redoing the draft a couple months later as it gets closer. So, number one pick I still have as Anthony Edwards. I feel like he can really be a good player in this league, even if he's not a number one option. He's a guy that can handle the ball, knock down tough shots, get to the paint, get out in transition. Has potential to be a great three-point shooter if he can continue to improve. Has upside as a defender. If he chooses to improve and work on that, they're going to need a coach that's going to be hard on him because he is young. He do got some kinks you got to iron out, and he do need a lot of polishing. But then again, you're getting somebody that's only a freshman and very, very young. So you have to be able to be his support system and grind out with him. And, he already has the size and the athleticism and the height to be special. It's just about developing skills like free throw shooting, mid range threes, and getting to the basket effectively, and also improving his handle a little bit more. Easier said than done, but you got him for multiple years, so it should be able to be accomplished. Number two, I had James Wiseman. As everybody know, he's the perfect fit for Golden State. The only missing piece they have on their roster, position-wise, is center. He's a solid defender, not great, but has potential to be solid rebounder, not great, but has potential to be, and showed the ability to space out the floor and could possibly be a great screener and guy that can really create space with dribble handoffs and get Clay and Steph and other guys open, or even allow them to knock down their threes, or even get a first step on the opponent so they can get to the basket or the free throw line. Number three, LaMelo Ball goes to Charlotte. Like I said before, only reason why I got LaMelo Ball going to Charlotte, he has the highest potential to be a superstar, the people in this draft. So why wouldn't Charlotte take a gamble on a guy with that much upside? I know they haven't had a great history of developing talent, but at the same time, they need somebody with huge upside to really get this thing going. Plus, Devontae Graham and Terrell Rozier aren't franchise-changing players or ball handlers or guards. So LaMelo at least give them a great decision maker. To some people, he's a great passer, decision maker when it comes to facilitating, but also, he gives them that upside in the future. If you compare him with another top five pick, you can possibly have something special in Charlotte, especially because he's a playmaker. Denny for Chicago. I really didn't want him to go here, but when you look at their roster, they don't need another guard because they do have Kobe White, they do have Zach LaVine, they do have Chris Dunn if they decide to keep him this free agency. So I don't really see them needing a Killian Hayes. I don't really see them needing Isaac Okoro unless they want them to come off the bench and try to thrive in that role. But I don't really see that happening. Then he gives them a playmaker that can help out with facilitating and creating shots, but also give them a guy that can have potential to be a great spot up shooter and a guy that can possibly even play the three instead of the four at the NBA level with huge upside. So I definitely see them going with Denny at four just because of his upside, his ability to be a playmaker and a guy that can continue to improve in the future because he already improved throughout his days overseas, and if he can continue to become a great or better shooter, that can only extend his value. And we don't know how good he is now because there hasn't been really no basketball over there either, so we don't know what his limit and his ceiling is, but it looks a lot better than what we thought it would be. For Cleveland, I got them getting Killian Hayes. Like I told you guys, I like the fact that they can get a guard that can play make and score, but give them size. Killian Hayes is a legitimate 6'5", 195, and he's a guy that can handle the ball. He can get to the paint. He has potential as a shooter from mid-range and from three, and he can play in the pick and roll decently, possibly in the future too. And that's something that they do need, as I don't see Darius Garland and Colin Sexton working out They're too small, too little, not great defenders, and not the greatest shooter when it comes to Darius Garland at this point in his career. Plus, he's better off coming off the bench because you don't want to be too small. Plus, you want to be able to match up good against the teams you go against. So I don't really see Cleveland keeping a backcourt being Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. I don't see that being a winning backcourt. I don't see that being elite backcourt. But Killian Hayes gives them more upside. It gives them size, and it gives them a potential three-level scorer and playmaker, which they don't have right now at that two-guard position. 6, Tyrese Haliburton going to Atlanta. They need a backup point guard. They need another creator when Trae Young is not on the court. And Tyrese Haliburton is mature. He understands that he might not be a starter, but he's fine within that role coming off the bench. And he's a guy that has been highly touted, can space the floor, and can really set up teammates. And that's something that Atlanta need if they're going to let Jeff T go this free agency. And he'll be on a rookie contract, which is cheaper than getting a veteran point guard. Plus, he's just as smart and has the IQ as one anyway, but he's just cheaper at the end of the day. So I think that'll be working for them in a good way. Then for the number 7 pick, I have a Yeka dropping down in this draft um, to to Detroit. I think they need a guy that can protect the paint. I think they need a guy that can rebound and be an anchor and a defensive force. And Onyeka has showed that he can potentially be that. And that's something that they do not have on his roster. So I think that that's something they should prioritize. And with the draft being able to fulfill that position and giving you somebody with upside to be even more possibly, I think that that'd be a great fit for that team. 8 for the Knicks. I think this is a popular pick for the Knicks. At number 8 is Devin Vassell. They have literally no shooting on their roster, really, or no consistent three-point shooter. Plus, Vassell has potential to be something better if he continues to work on his game. He's a decent mid-range. He can get out in transition. He can hit spot up and corner threes, and he can cut to the basket. A team player, unselfish player, and a guy that can polish his game up a little bit more. Could be a two-way player or even better than a 3-and-D player, but he gives the Knicks something they desperately need and something that they don't have. So I think that that's why they should move in and get him at number 8. Number 9, I know this is going to call people go crazy, but I have Obi going ninth. I know people think he's a top 5 talent. I know people think he's a top 7 talent, but a lot of the teams will be just drafting him because it's best talent and available, which I don't see as a problem. But those other teams have other needs, and Toppin doesn't really fit none of their needs really outside from a different couple teams. But I still do have him going in the top 10, but I have him going to the Wizards, him playing with Bradley Beal and him playing with other shooters on the team that they can possibly get this free agency. I can see them getting a guy that can come off the bench or start and give them some firepower that they desperately missing with John Wall and Bradley Beal being decent facilitators and decent pick and roll players and guys that can really make guys shots and hustle is something that he offers too a lot better. I think Obi would be a perfect fit in Washington. Not going to be where he wants to go. Probably not the perfect fit. Definitely a disappointment if he fall that low in the draft. But it's one guy every year that drops or don't get drafted as high as people think. And it might be Obi this year just because other teams need other positional fits. And Washington can definitely use them. Number 10, I got Isaac Okoro going to Phoenix. I know they got Devin Booker and Mikal Bridges, but I don't really see them passing up on Okoro, honestly, especially because he's a two-way guy. But I do see if they don't want this pick, I can definitely see them trading down or trading it for another piece so they can make a playoff run, as they don't really need anybody in this range necessarily, but it will still be getting best talent available, and that's the only reason why I can see Isaac going there. Number 11, Patrick Williams to Spurs. This is a popular pick. I definitely see it happening, getting a guy that's unselfish, do it all, and definitely can play his role. And he very, multi and versatile impact on the game. I could definitely see him doing something special with the Spurs with Greg Popovich at the helm. Number 13, I got Precious going. Number 12, I got Precious going to. Actually, I got Aaron Neesmith going number 12 to Sacramento. If they're going to trade Buddy Hield, and we don't know what they're going to do yet with Bogdanovich, they can get a cheaper option with Aaron Neesmith, a guy that can handle the ball, knock down threes, come off screens, hit mid-range, and get to the paint from time to time. He's an explosive guard that's very young, very athletic, a legitimate 6'6", 215. So he has size to play the position, can even go up a position, can even defend guards at the point guard position, and he can defend bigger guards. So it gives them a lot of versatility. It gives them something that they can potentially use to grow with De'Aaron Fox, and it allows them to, trade or let players go and use the salary cap on other guys because he is younger and he does have huge explosive upside as a scorer and as a playmaker. 13, I got Precious going to New Orleans. I think they draft best talent available in what's left, and I think Precious is the best value at 13. Number 14, I got Cole Anthony. We need a backup point guard in Boston, so I could definitely see him going there. Plus, they can pick up a wing or a center or something later in the draft because there'll be plenty available, and we got plenty of picks in this draft. So I think you just draft best talent available and a potential need, which Cole Anthony at the point guard position can be. And number 15, I got Sadiq Bey going to Orlando. And I feel like they eventually will trade some of their guys as they're going to have to start paying them, or they're not going to be able to have the flexibility that they have now. So you want to be able to pick up needs, and you also want to pick up best talent available. But if you're not going to trade the pick and you're going to keep it, you have guys like Theo. You have other guys that you can put in this position. But Bay seemed like the most versatile, seemed like the most NBA ready, and a guy that is hungry and really wants to prove himself. And if you have a guy like that, most of the time it ends up working out. So I don't see why they wouldn't possibly take him at that 15 slot. But let me know what you guys think. Did I get something wrong? Did I overthink something? Did I sleep on somebody? Or do you think the draft will go totally different because trades will happen and other teams will move up and move down, getting their needs? So I was just making this draft based on team needs and best talent available, but trades and stuff will happen, will change this whole mock draft, and it won't be 100% accurate. And other teams might like a player more as they get a chance to evaluate them and get them into their gym and see what they can bring a little bit. So that's going to change the mock draft too. But this is just my analysis. This is just my opinion on what should happen, what could happen, and drafting based on team needs currently. That's why I built this mock draft. None of us know what's going to happen. None of us are going to be right. None of us going to have the order right. We just having fun telling you our opinion based on what we think. And that's why I made this draft for people that wanted to know how I feel about the draft and the players right now and what teams should select them based off needs. And everything will change when the actual draft happens. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm going.